lay a small dog, its fur matted and filthy, ribs showing faintly beneath the grime, eyes wide and pleading, scanning the passing vehicles as if begging for recognition, for hope. Its leg was twisted awkwardly, the skin raw, a faint trickle of dried blood marking the dusty asphalt. A low whimper escaped its throat, barely audible over the hum of engines and distant bird calls. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to Echoes of the Voiceless and join us in giving a voice to those who cannot speak. Every story here is a testament to courage, compassion, and the lives we can change when we choose to care. From afar, people slowed their cars, some stopping momentarily, phones raised. "Poor thing, it'll be fine," a man muttered, shifting uncomfortably in his seat. Another shook his head, voice heavy with indifference. "Nature takes care of itself. There's nothing we can do." And yet, the dog's gaze, frantic and imploring, pierced their hearts for a fleeting second, long enough to stir shame but too brief to compel action. Most rolled up their windows and drove on, leaving the small creature shivering against the cold asphalt. A pair of children huddled at the roadside, binoculars in hand, whispering questions to each other. "Why isn't anyone helping him?" the smaller one asked, voice trembling. Their parents lingered nearby, avoiding eye contact with the dog, as though ignoring the problem might erase it. The children's whispered concern was swallowed by the faint wind and the distant roar of traffic. The sun climbed higher, heat waves shimmering over the blacktop. The dog whimpered again, shifting slightly on its side, struggling to adjust its injured leg. The sound of distant tires grew louder, a convoy of jeeps rumbling down the road. Passengers leaned out of the windows, snapping photos, laughing nervously, but no one reached for the dog. They were spectators, documentation seekers, not saviors. Then, from the curve ahead, a figure emerged. She moved deliberately, boots crunching over loose gravel and cracked pavement, a calm certainty guiding her every step. Her dark hair was pulled into a tight ponytail, practical and unyielding against the wind. Lily Reynolds, known in animal rescue circles by her call sign Sparrow, surveyed the scene from a distance. Her sharp eyes, trained over years of rescues, took in the dog's injuries, the crowd, and the faint scent of fear in the air. She crouched behind a low shrub, observing carefully. Every shallow breath of the small creature spoke of pain, of desperate hope. The torn flesh on its leg, the faint pulse of blood, the grit clinging to the fur, all signs of time slipping away. "Not much time," she whispered, her voice almost blending with the breeze. Her fingers brushed her radio, already transmitting coordinates to a nearby rescue unit. But first, she needed to calm the crowd, establish control, and earn the dog's trust. A man wearing a straw hat laughed, nervously nearby, pointing at the dog. "Look at it. Probably just tired," he said. A few others nodded in agreement. A teenage girl in a striped shirt tugged at her mother's sleeve. "We should call someone," she whispered sharply. Her mother's hand pressed against her shoulder, silencing her, as though this was merely a spectacle for amusement. Anger rose in Lily's chest. So often the people who could help chose to watch and record instead, leaving life to suffer. She stepped forward slowly, hands raised, palms open. "Easy. It's okay," she murmured. The dog's ears twitched, its head lifting slightly, uncertain. A stick snapped under a shifting foot behind her, and the animal flinched, letting out a low, fearful whine. Lily froze, maintaining her position, letting the moment pass. Patience. Always patience. The distant rumble of tires grew sharper, signaling the arrival of the specialized animal rescue team. Lily, still crouched near the dog, raised a hand, commanding the crowd back. Her voice was firm but calm. "Everyone, step back. Give us space. We're here to help." A jeep pulled to a stop, and a uniformed officer stepped out, followed by a veterinarian carrying a medical kit. The officer nodded to Lily. "Call received. Situation under control?" Lily's gaze returned to the dog. Its tail twitched weakly, legs trembling, a fragile thread of hope. "Not yet," she replied, "but if we act carefully, we can save him. He trusts me, for now." The veterinarian crouched at a safe distance, inspecting the wound. Infection is severe. If moved incorrectly, he could collapse. Lily nodded. "I'll guide him. You follow my lead." Her call sign, Sparrow, now fully revealed, rippled through the team and spectators alike. Eyes widened. She wasn't just another volunteer. She was the woman trained for high-stakes rescues, the one who had pulled countless animals from near-death situations. The dog made a small, tentative movement. Lily's hands hovered close, ready to provide guidance. Slowly, step by step. Breathe. You're safe. I'm right here. She circled gently, keeping distance, her voice steady and calming. The crowd went silent, caught in awe of her poise and skill. "Everyone, hold your position," she called, noting a few spectators inching closer. One misstep, and the dog might panic. The veterinarian instructed an assistant to prepare a sling and harness, tension building with each passing second. Lily's eyes met theirs. A silent agreement passed between seasoned professionals. The next moments would demand flawless coordination. As the harness was gently looped around the dog's frail body, it flinched. Lily leaned in slightly, placing a hand softly against his side. "I'm here. You can do this. Trust me." A hush fell over the roadside. Even the wind seemed to pause, carrying only the faint clatter of harness and the dog's shallow breaths. A subtle shift, a weak whine, and then the first sign of progress. The dog lifted his injured leg slightly, trembling but steady. Lily signaled the rescue team to move slowly. Inch by inch, ropes and harness guiding the tiny body, they advanced toward the awaiting jeep. Every step was deliberate, the asphalt uneven beneath them, dust rising with each careful movement. "Almost there. You're doing it," Lily murmured. The crowd whispered, some with tears in their eyes, witnessing the courage and fragility of life entwined before them. An elderly man who had mocked earlier whispered, I underestimated her." Minutes felt like hours. The dog stumbled once. Lily's hand steadied him, firm yet gentle, her breath matching his. The crowd collectively held their breath as the small creature finally stood on all fours, fully supported by the harness. Relief rippled through the roadside. The veterinarian signaled readiness for transport. Lily guided him carefully into the jeep, keeping the injured leg secure, whispering soft reassurances. The vehicle rumbled away steadily, leaving a stunned silence behind except for the whispers of bystanders, processing what they had just witnessed. Some lingered, murmuring apologies to the animal. Others stood in awe. Lily remained upright, dust and sweat marking her uniform, eyes calm and resolute. A mother whispered to her child, "See, some people choose to care." The wind swept across the roadside, carrying dust and a lingering echo of hope, a testament to courage left behind. Compassion, Lily knew, required patience, bravery, and attention. Too often, life was ignored, suffering left to itself, but a single brave act could rewrite a destiny. The jeep's tires crunched against the gravel as it pulled slightly off the main road, creating a small clearing. Lily remained by the dog's side until the team confirmed he was secure. Her eyes never left him, noting every subtle shiver, every hesitant lift of his paw. She whispered softly, almost a chant, "You're safe. Just breathe. I'm here." Her voice, steady and calm, seemed to carry into the hearts of the spectators as much as it did to the trembling animal. The crowd had spread back, but didn't disperse entirely. Their murmurs were no longer of indifference. They were filled with awe, questions, and something heavier, guilt. A man muttered under his breath, I should have done something sooner." Children stared, wide-eyed, as if seeing courage unfold in real time. Lily glanced at them, offering a small, reassuring nod, her expression composed yet warm. The veterinarian began examining the dog carefully, assessing the twisted leg and the deep abrasions. "The swelling is significant, but with proper care, he'll recover fully. He's lucky you were here," the vet said, glancing at Lily with respect. Lily crouched beside the dog, gently stroking his back. "We're going to fix everything," she whispered. The dog responded with a tiny, trusting nuzzle, a sign that the bridge between fear and hope had been crossed. Suddenly, a distant siren of an approaching animal ambulance reminded everyone that the real transfer had to happen. The team quickly coordinated, lifting the dog with care onto a soft stretcher. Lily guided every motion, ensuring that no sudden jolt would worsen the injuries. "Easy, step by step. I've got you," she murmured, her words rhythmic, almost hypnotic, calming both the dog and the team. The ambulance doors opened, and the veterinarian motioned for Lily to help lift the stretcher inside. She moved with precision, almost instinctively, aligning every limb, every piece of equipment, her experience visible in every subtle motion. Once inside, she stayed close, speaking to the dog in soft tones, as if each word was a promise of a second chance. Outside, the crowd had begun to disperse slowly, some with tears on their faces, others whispering apologies to the small creature they had ignored moments ago. One woman called to her child, "Do you see? Real heroes don't wear capes, they act when it matters." Lily's gaze lingered on the receding ambulance, her jaw tightening slightly. She knew the dog's journey was just beginning, but the first, most dangerous step had been taken. The sun had dipped lower, casting long shadows across the roadside, the heat softened by the approaching evening. Dust swirled gently in the breeze, carrying the faint scent of earth and grass. It was quiet now, but the echoes of what had transpired lingered. Lily stood tall, uniform, dusty, sweat streaked across her temple, yet her stance was unwavering. "Every life matters," she whispered, almost to herself, "even when the world looks away." The moral of the moment hung heavy in the air. Compassion requires courage, patience, and the will to act when others hesitate. Too often, suffering goes unseen, ignored in favor of convenience or apathy. But one person's decisive action, the choice to care, can save a life, restore hope, and leave a lasting impression on everyone who witnesses it. From the edge of the road, children waved, and a few adults nodded in newfound respect. Lily watched silently, letting her presence speak louder than words ever could. She had not just rescued a dog. She had reminded everyone of the fragile, irreplaceable value of life, the quiet bravery needed to protect it, and the humanity we often forget to show. As the ambulance drove away, carrying the dog to a safe place where healing could begin, Lily adjusted her ponytail, shoulders heavy but spirit resolute. She turned back toward the road, scanning the horizon for the next life in need, knowing that somewhere, someone, or some animal would be waiting for hope to arrive. The wind carried the faint echo of paws and heartbeats, a silent testament to resilience, compassion, and courage. And in that echo, the world understood, for just a fleeting moment, that heroes don't wait, they act.